Awesome. So beautiful. Thank you everybody for coming. Welcome. And you're already set with the blocks. That's great. And yeah, I would start with legs bent and pretty like that, comfortable. They can be not together. They don't have to be long. Eventually we'll do a longer, but not now. We're just going to start to breathe here to settle down, maybe even soften and close your eyes just to take a few moments. So when I start like that, relaxing the sacrum, the pelvis, the part of the digestive system, your lower part of your chakras, your emotional part, so we can really get a moment to get the system, the nervous system to calm down and to bring yourself here, bring yourself in the moment and try to find the breath. So try to stay like a little mini shavasana just to start very quiet, very still, and just try to find stillness in your mind and feeling the rest, the support of your tail, of your hips. So as you do that and try to really be in the moment, and the mind wanders and it goes away and you cannot stop it, just realize that the mind went away, you come back and just come back to the breath, and there it is. And then repeat that and soften into the block and soften the breath, and the process continues. The process of the yoga, the process of the breathing and the relaxation of the mind and the connection to the body, and just dropping all the things we have to do and a million things we are always needing to do and supposed to do, and completing all these missions. So the flat second, either one is great. The arms are out. And then gently, please, gently, right? Relax. So you can maybe go on your tippy toes, get a little height so you can kind of put the block down and away and settle your hips down. All right, and just take a moment here. Just take a moment. Don't rush into movement, and just feel your feet on the ground. Your hands can be on the belly. Just take a moment, breathe again. My feet are down, my knees are pointing up, and you're gonna do a little butterfly. So if it hurts, stay with the feet wide and the knees knocking together. Otherwise, see if you can do a little butterfly. So a little bit of Baddha Konasana, feet together, knees wide. Again, you can put blocks under your thighs, under your upper thighs or your knees, or also some blankets or pillows, hands, heart and belly, or out, or wherever you please. Again, breath in, breath out. Connection to how this shape feels. And if it feels good, you continue. Otherwise, you undo that. So please always be mindful, learning. Sometimes this feels good, and other times doesn't feel right. Doesn't feel right, you just undo that and do the opposite. You widen the feet and you let the knees rest against each other if that feels good. Feet down, and then do that. Eventually, everybody with the feet as wide as your mat, even a little wider than the mat, and just have the knees come to rest against each other and counter that, breathing in and out. Breathing, I hope you can feel or listen to a little bit of my breath, if you can make it even louder. If you can count to 5, exhale, count to also 5. If that feels good, do that here. It could be 4. So make it so sometimes exaggerating it and not making it loud, it helps you. And we're going to start some movements that are really warming up, really simple, but very valuable to the sciatica, to the piriformis, to those pain shooting down the leg, or sometimes in the glute, sometimes behind the leg. So it's all like sometimes it's something from the back or this, I don't know. So I'm going to start with the leg. Is my left leg that I'm going to try to hug in a little bit. So you can bring the hand on the knee or behind the leg and just gently start bringing it in. So this is great, simple, but great for sciatica. Now, if it feels okay, you can bring it a little to the armpit or to the shoulder. You can do one to the middle and out. You can also keep it in the center and just kind of wake it up, sort of like you lift the glute a little bit. Please don't force anything. So just kind of bring it in and out a couple times, almost like you're squeezing here, right? Your pelvis, your low belly gets a little massage. You can also start going maybe a little bit faster if you like more like a little rocking motion, in and in and in and in. Awesome. So I'm going to just kind of lengthen the other leg, the right leg that is on the floor, right foot on the floor, lengthen it. All right, and see how that feels. And then with the left hand, hold the left knee and just open it out and just hold it. Don't try to bring it or force it down. Keep the right hand on the right hip. Don't let the right hip lift, and just open the knee a little out. Like a tree pose, but it's not quite a tree because the knee is really higher towards your side ribs. And then cup to center, so the knee comes back to the center. And then rebend the bottom leg, the one that was long, rebend it, set it on the ground, and make a figure 4 here. Make a figure 4 with the hands on the bottom of your legs, press them away, push them away, encourage them out and away. Again, gently, don't stress your neck, don't bring your shoulders high, just your shoulders and head relax, face soft, and press out. Gently, don't lift the legs, bring the feet on the floor, and just take a moment with the feet on the floor, hips on the floor. You're going to reach both arms up to the heavens, like you want to touch the ceiling, and you're going to cross and hug opposite elbow and just rock the knees and rock the shoulders. They don't have to be together, but they can be, the elbows to one side, the knees to the other, or they can go like also like maybe little circles with everything. So whichever arm is on top, don't worry, we will do the other side after that. Just kind of soften your shoulders, your hips, release your arms, and bring everything back towards the center. And then you're going to start hugging the other knee in gently. So I try to kind of like see how it feels in your glute. Your hip is trying to wake up on the right. Gently, if you like to open it a little more to the side, to the armpit, you do that. You can switch between center and side. Okay, you can keep it right in the middle and just kind of go a little, maybe a little faster a couple times, like more like in like one, or keep it away and in a couple times, sort of like waking up the glute, waking up the back of your hip. And also, like I said, allowing a little bit of massaging here through your colon, lower belly, abdomen, all these organs here. Lengthen the left leg. Okay, so the leg is on the foot, on the floor, lengthen it, ground it, and then gently open the right knee out. So don't let the knee go out, don't lift your hip, keep everything rounded, and just try to bring the knee closer, holding it. You can use the strap if you want. Take a breath, feel the breath here, feel what's happening with the one leg long, one knee bent, opening out to the side. You can hold it, you can grab it behind, you can encourage it knee out a little bit, or if it feels better, you bring it to the center. You can do a little bit of both. Rebend the left leg, ground it, and place the right ankle for the figure four, and press the bottom of your legs, like stretching the space between the pelvis and the ribs, making space between there. So grounding the hips down and pressing legs out, flex the top foot and breathe. I feel like the shoulders are coming up a little bit because we're using our arms, so that's okay. But try to soften your eyes as you do that. Uncross, feet on the ground, arms up. Try to stay relaxed in your arms, cross the other one. So you can just kind of bring your elbow over elbow, or maybe even sneak their fingertips behind. And again, the knees are going to rock and the arms are going to rock, or you can just simply, maybe if it feels good, to do some shoulder circles, knee side to side, away from each other, or with each other in simultaneously. So if that feels good. Also, if it feels good, otherwise just keep here and you can keep steady, just kind of hugging yourself up. Relax your arms. So I'm going to bring my arms a little bit on the ground, palms are flat. And you're going to walk your feet a little bit away from the hips and lift your feet, lift your toes. All right, and then I'm going to walk them just a little farther. So I'm reaching my legs away from my pelvis, and lift your toes. And I'm going to walk them like a foot more away and lift. Right, so I'm lengthening piece by piece. My legs are almost wanting to straighten. Lift your toes and your toe bounce. Right, I'm almost feeling like the toes don't touch, so my legs are almost going to straight. And then see if you can lift one foot up and lower, and switch the other, lift right, lower. So keep the hips down, lift just one foot, maybe hover. And then see if you can lengthen more the legs, more like the toes are not touching, the toes are floating. Lift one foot and lower, lift the other foot. My legs are not straight. Okay, last one here, lift. Just a little bit, lift. So it's almost like 2 inches of the ground. And feet on the ground. My feet are not on the ground. My heels are on the ground, and I'm just going to press my toes and flex them. So pointing, lengthening, and flexing and bending my legs. So pointing and straightening my toes and my legs, flexing and bending my toe bounce, go up. So pointing, almost straightening, work with these, straightening the legs, strengthening the legs, the power of the legs, the muscles of the legs. Awesome. And then just relax the legs, turn the toes out, and reach your arms overhead. Reach everything, lengthen. Let the hips, the ribs rise. It's okay. We're going to bring the arms back down and we're going to do some pelvic rockings. This is also great for that sciatica. So feet on the ground and just flatten. Yeah. So no space between the ribs and the mat. And then exaggerate like a little cat cow. You can even sneak maybe an arm. So tuck and untuck, contract, tuck the tail. The tail goes rounding up to the pubic bone and then the other way. So you end up really rocking your whole body by just tucking and untucking your pelvis and simply allowing the natural curve of the spine to disappear. So press the feet and flatten and then relax it, almost exaggerating, and you end up like a rocking motion on your back. You can go really slow, you can even hold it. If one of these feel good, rock it and just stay there. Couple more. Good. Last one. Really press, almost like you want to lift your hips, but press the low back, the lumbar on the ground. Awesome. All right. I hope you feel a little bit of release here for that big nerve on the tail from like the front of the pelvis to the across the whole hip. And sometimes these little exercises help. So we're gonna do like a hands and knees, and when we do that little bird dog, that also should help you with the like sciatica, but it's also a wonderful way to start warming up the spine. So come out gently to hands and knees, please. And if you want blocks, of course, you can have the blocks under your palms. I'm just gonna turn a little more sideways. You can put a couple of mats. You can put blanket or a towel under your knees if your knees want a little more support. So I'm gonna be on that tabletop, hands and knees. If this hurts, you can do fists right here. So I'm going to sway my tail to one side, sway to the other. You don't have to look, but just kind of feel like you go side to side, wagging your tail a little bit. And we'll start with some rounding and arching. Moving your spine. Very good. Yeah. So gentle and fun and comfortable. Toes can be flat, toes can be tucked, whatever you want. Make sure they're not all over the place. Make sure knees are under your hips, toes are behind the knees, wrists under your shoulders or maybe a little forward. You can shift between swaying or cats and cows and just moving a little bit. That's what we want, right? So I'm going to start with the left leg, which is the one kind of closer to the screen, so you can probably feel that you can do the other side. Unless I change, I can also change. So just tuck your toes in the left leg, tuck them, and then rock a little forward and back. So rock on the foot and stretch the back of your leg. That also should help that back of your thigh. All right, so it's going to be kind of like a little long sequence on this side. Okay, and then we'll do on the other side. So keep your toes under, hands are going to be your support because you're going to try to lift that leg off the ground. So you have that hands down, then the leg is up. And you're going to bring this left knee to the left elbow. You don't have to touch it. And then stretch it back. And then the left knee across to the right elbow. and you don't have to touch. And then lengthen and lift and try that bird dog. So whole leg, the whole arm opposite. You can just keep the hand down, or on the fingertips, you can keep the toes down. You can also lengthen and lift both at the same time. Now, right hand down, and this left leg that was lifted, turn it out to the left. So open it out from the back to the left side. And you're going to take some circles here. Circle the hip, back and forth. So you're on hands, and one knee and one leg is out. Back and forth, or circles, or both, or whatever feels good. You're going to walk your hands to the leg open a little bit. You can have a block here. So if you have a block, walk the block there, maybe one hand on the block, maybe both hands lower to the left leg. Okay, so holding or hands to the block. Take a breath, take a few breaths, lift and lengthen, lower. Right from here, folding, unfolding. And we're going to go from here to a side bend. So you can grab the block, that one that was there, across, maybe on the right hand, right knee is down. You can stay here, right? Just instead of having the hips back, try to bring the hips forward, try to lift up. So you're on your right hand, right? On the right knee, right heel is behind the right knee, left toes down, and you can add the arm up. You're already there, that's beautiful. If you guys are okay, you can do some circles here. Maybe one. And then reverse it. And the reversal should open and should really feel good. Really open up that shoulder if it feels good. Awesome. Keep a moment here. Bring the hips forward. So see if your hips are back. Bring them forward consciously. Might be just a tiny little subtle movement forward. You can allow your hand to rest on your hip or your shoulder or up. All right, and then we're going to start unwinding down. So the arm comes back down, the knee, you can just kind of, the leg that was long, just kind of bring it in and then walk back to that tabletop, back to where we came from, right? Everything comes back to the mat. And then you're going to take a little child's pose moment. So you're going to open the knees really wide and have your arms a little bit stretching forward, head down or head on the block or elbows on the floor. And just take a moment here in your first child's pose. So the belly is just really kind of falling or being very soft. Let the belly soften, heavy between your legs. Breathe here. Breathe a lot. Soften the mind and the breath and feel this place like, it feels good here, right? I'm going to do just one thing on the belly and then we'll return to the hands and knees. Since we're on the floor, on the knees, slide forward and somehow walk back and come onto our belly all the way on the floor. My legs really out, toes out, wide. My arms can come all the way on the floor. You can rest your forehead on the hands. And the only thing I'm going to do here is just really keep the legs wide and just tuck the toes. Really see if you can tuck, especially the big toe, the second and third, and lift your kneecaps. Lift the kneecaps off the ground. I wish I could have a little more like a focus point to my feet, but my knees are off. And I'm really stretching the back of your legs and I'm pressing the pubic bone down. Now, if you want more, you can come up on your elbows. If it's too much, just stay low. Then lower your elbows, lower your knees, stretch the legs. Again, toes out, heels in if it feels good. And then walk the feet more so they're under or in line with your hips or hips distance. And lift your feet, lift your shins, rotate your ankles, and then swing a little windshield wiper, soften your belly, lengthen your legs, feet on the ground, lengthen one, lengthen both legs really, really long. Come to Sphinx pose. And then relax your chest, your chin to your chest. Do a little turn to the right shoulder and center and left. Feel the weight of your head. Feel the stretch of your neck. Breathe, please. If this doesn't feel good, just stay looking forward, using the elbows as props, like legs, and using your low back to strengthen. Your belly is really energized, so don't let the engage the glutes a little bit, so you engage the belly. You're gonna come back gently somehow, bring the hands under and just tuck and go back, and then come back to the tabletop. We're going to do a little swaying again. Just see if you have a little more. You're getting loosening, but loosening up by repeating and coming back here. Add some cats and cows, of course. So the swaying, you can kind of pick the opposite. So if you sway to the left side with your hips, look over to your right. So it feels really good. So the hips go right and look left. So we're doing opposite. We're not looking at the way at the hip that is turning. That's too much. So the hips go right and you look left. And the hips look turn left and you look right. And then add a little cats and cows, which are always super yummy. Lifting and rounding, extension and flexion. And then you're going to tuck your toes on the right. Tuck them. Tuck, 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 right? And really go a little forward and back. You can kind of rock a little bit. So you go on your toes, you press back, you go forward, feel like your shoulders are a little bit past in front of your wrists. And then engage your belly. You're going to lift your other leg up. So you're on two hands, all the fingers and hands lifted. Hug the right knee, right elbow, stretch it back. And then right knee across to the middle or towards the left elbow, and then stretch it back. Keep it high, keep it engaged. If you want, left fingertips go forward or lift, and you have that whole bird dog sequence of reaching forward, reaching back. You can always tuck or touch touch the floor with one of them, or lift one of them, or just keep maybe the foot down and the arm goes up. So whichever is any variation is great. Both hands come down, and then the leg that was lifted in the back, you're going to open it up to the right. So now as the right leg was back, you're going to open it up to the right. Toes are flat. Before anything, do some forward, do some back, do some circles. So again, almost like sitting back, side to side, bend your leg and go a little bit like moving here. See if that feels good. All right, and then go forward and back, just really kind of waking up the inner thigh. Awesome. So if you have the block here, right? So I can hold my head and just fold towards that extended leg. If that's not easy, just kind of take the friend, my block, and just folding maybe outside, maybe inside, maybe you don't need it, just folding towards the long leg. Take a couple of breaths here, breathe here. Awesome. Yep, should feel good. All right, let's come up a little bit, enough to kind of come back to the center. You can grab the friend, my block, put it on the highest and stay here, right? Or no block on the fingertips or on the palm. If your hips are back, boom. Okay, so see how they're back, bring them forward. See this hip, like almost like somebody comes behind you and pushes you forward. So everything should be in one line. Arm gonna go up. I know my arm is disappearing, but all it's doing is just reaching up. I'm gonna make a circle. Okay, it doesn't have to be big. It can be a little circle here with your elbow if it's too much. All right, and whatever feels good, really feel like the circle can even feel good on the hip. And then the other way, really make it so it really helpful for the shoulder. Maybe open up, hips forward. Remember the hips forward, maybe be gazing up. Awesome. Very good. And then start coming down. Maybe the hand goes first. Maybe the knee lowers. So come back to where you started from, or just bring the knees in and you come back. We come back to this wide-legged child's pose. Again, any props under your forehead, any props, any arms, fists, just wide, knees, toes together, belly in between your knees, and rest here and recover and find a sense of groundedness and recalibration, recovery, breathing. And then from here, from the knees down, so don't come up, from the knees down, lift enough to lift your space between your elbows, and then slide one arm behind and come to like a little twist here. So you're on your knees. I don't want you to come up, just your arms up a little bit, one arm, and then slide, and maybe the head touches, maybe it doesn't touch, maybe you put something, and maybe just keep the hand there. And then slowly undo that, and then the other. So the palm is facing up. You can maybe rest your forehead or part of your head. You can also walk the other arm to the top and maybe go to the left, or keep it there, or just keep it close to your face. Please do what feels good in your body. Awesome. All right, we're gonna slide and do that. You're gonna do a little bit of stretching with your toes if it's okay. Okay, so the knees are not too wide, about hip distance. Tuck toes and start bringing your hands to their close to your knees, maybe to your legs. Maybe you're really sitting on the toes. If it's too much, just undo that and go to your hands, and maybe lift your weight from the heels. Otherwise, we're stretching our plantar fascia. And then we're gonna come to our first downward facing dog. Okay, so you were here, hands lower, walk forward, and then tuck and lift, tuck and lift. So your first dog, lift your heel, and then switch, lift the other heel. Really press the arms straight, really hug the arms into the shoulders. Feel all the palms pressing, lift your tailbone, bend your knees, exaggerate bending, lifting your top of your tail up. Find your dog, steady your dog, walk your dog, sway your hips, whatever feels good. Careful. You can always come down and take a little rest. I'm gonna look at the top. I'm gonna start walking. You can take a big hop or tiny steps or any way you like it. Fold to the top, rest and hug elbows. And again, sway, sway with the hands on the blocks, sway with the hands on the elbows, opposite elbows, or maybe interlace behind the head, whichever variation is in your practice. We're folding forward and we're upside down. So we're letting circulation reverse a little bit and trying to also help so the body is dangling upside down. Maybe a little traction on your shoulders and your neck and relax your jaw. Take a moment maybe to look and tuck your chin closer to your chest. Maybe look to your belly. All right, we're gonna roll. So please be careful. You can just also take a little squat and unfold, or you can do it with straight legs. You can do the arms out. You can bring the hands on the hips. Just come out very conservatively and carefully how you stand up. And then when you come to standing, I want you to feel the corners of the feet, the toes, the ankles. Really grab your legs, like hug them into your bones, almost like you're recovering the muscles, and really press the thighs back, almost like you're really hugging them in. Hug your belly in, press your feet, shoulders back, and nice and strong Tadasana or mountain. Really feel that you're using all the parts that include all the parts of your feet. The heel, the toes, the outer inner arches, edges, and the thighs are really engaged. Squeeze your glutes, lift your belly. And then just relax, soften just a tiny bit. Bend your legs just a tiny bit. And lift your arms up. And breathe. Awesome. Here I am. Okay. And then lower. Okay. Just like that. I'm going to try to lift your arms. When you lift your arms, don't go like that. Okay. Everything straight. And lower. One more. Lifting up the arms. I don't care if they're wide, but don't create a little back bend. Just nice and straight. Lower. I'm going to try to add your toes. So if you need to be next to a wall, or just don't go up so much, just lift your arms and lift your toes. Excuse me, your heels. And then lower, arms lower. One more time, up. Little shaky, little work here, and lower. And let's try it a little different. We're gonna go up on your toes, right? But we're gonna bring the arms out. A little different now to the side, maybe more, maybe less. Lower and up. And then notice, right, the adaptability of the feet, the shaking. Just one more. And then just relax. Then roll your shoulders up and back and down. And one more time, roll your shoulders up and back and down. In hook your thumbs. You see these? Hook them. And then lift them up. Right in the center of that bright light here. Wow, that's good. All right, I'm going to go to my left. You go to your left or your right and center, lengthen, and then other side. Awesome. So feel really the side stretching, the ribs spanning. And another side. Come back to center and then bring your hands to prayer to the center of your heart. I'm just going to do like a step back, warrior one, and we'll do some lunging with the warrior one. So I'm at the top of my mat. I'm going to bounce just a tiny bit. And I'm going to step with my right leg. Usually start with the right leg. All right, you can maybe have the hands right here on the hips and step back. And please turn the toes out. Toes are out. This is not warrior two. This is warrior one. So you need to probably wiggle the foot out or the left to the left and the right to the right. All right, we're going to bend the front leg. We're going to straighten. All right, bend and go forward. Press the back heel, back leg straight, and then straighten and then bend. Okay, so if it's too much, you go back. If you don't feel you want more, you walk your foot forward and you walk more and you bend more. Arms open and lift. And then cactus. Keep the legs as they are. And then we're going to lengthen the arms and straighten the front leg. All right. And then open cactus, bend forward. Beautiful. And then up, straighten, everything straightens and lift up. All right. And last one, bending. Keep that back leg heel straight, pressing back. Now, hands on the heart. And then you're going to just see if you can straighten the front leg as much as you can. Okay. And then see if you can go a little forward. So a little variation on pyramid. You can also have your hands out like a T. If you want more, forward is more. This is maybe more accessible. Cactus, like I said, if you want more forward, this is a lot. So I like it kind of like sideways. And I'm going to come out of here. So press the back leg, bend the front leg, and inhale and come back to the way we started in the warrior one. Bend the front leg a little more. Last little effort here. Hands to prayer. And we're going to bring the back leg forward. Awesome. Hands at the heart. Squat into a chair. Inhale, come up straight. Just one more. A little lower to your capacity. Send the booty back, but chuck a little bit your tail. So not a lot of back bend here, but not a lot of tucking. Just feel that leg power. And then inhale. Awesome. Very good. Shake it out. And then bounce just a tiny bit and step the left leg back. So from the screen, I can see, it looks like my feet are like in one line. They're not in one line. They're actually nice and separate. Nice and separate. My toe in the back is turning out a little bit. So if I had a mat here, it would be pointing to the left corner of the front of your mat. So I'm going to slide my front leg a couple times, kind of like feeling how much I bend my front leg, but my back leg is glued back. Okay. Now I'm going to bend and have my arms up. So start here, sorry, with the elbows and then lift up and straighten everything up. And then go forward, bending, elbows open, and then straighten in lift and straighten pretty much everything up. So open up, shoulders, belly lifts, bending front, back leg is straight. One more. Then you stay here. Knee in the front is bending. Now I'm going to try to straighten the front leg just a tiny bit. If it's bent, that's okay. But the back leg is super straight. Open arms and just kind of fold a little bit forward. If you had a chair, I would tell you, bring the hands on a stool, on a chair. Some of you can even bring the hand to block on the front. But this is also a lot of work here. Sustain the hips back, the left hip back, excuse me, right hip back, left feet forward. You can also rest the hands on the front leg. You can have your hands back. You can have your hands forward. And then bring your hands back for support, or just bend the front leg to get out a little bit, coming out, slowly up, come on the toes in your back and step forward. Cactus again, and do just one more chair. Okay, just one more chair, and just see if you can bring a little twist, but without doing the twist. So one of the hands on my right hand, just bring it outside your hip. And then the other hand can be, outside your knee, and the other one on the hip, just like that. Try to have the knees not opening out, just knees down, back to center, and then opposite hand outside the knee, and same hand to the hip. So this is my version of twist. It's not this one that we do in the chairs, like they do this chair twist. It's really low. This is great. Back up and release. Shake it all out. So let's do one tree, your tree. I don't care if you can do this with the block, right? And then you have the block on the bottom. And let's say I'm going to do my left foot stays and my right leg is going to lift. So I'm going to just kind of step my foot there on the block. So this could be my tree right here. All right. And I can have my hands at the heart. So notice the standing leg, really strong. Engage the glute. And then you can maybe add something, do something with your hands. You can do a little mudra here with the hands, like a little circle with the hands, one on top of the other, or prayer, or this one, this one, this one. Awesome. And step down. So they say to sometimes to drishti, right? The focal point, to gaze at something right in your the line of your eyes, like not high, not low, right in the same line as the horizon as your eyes. If you find something that is, you don't have to really analyze or label it, but just kind of towards the front, right? So weight on the other, shifting, doing this tree on this side, not turning your whole body. You can try this variation with the block. You can put it on a stool if you have a stool, I don't care. You can even put it on a chair. You can do this one here. And once you feel this leg is steady, you can even play with it. You can lift it higher, you can bring it closer. You can stay here, you can play with your arms. And you can do that little play. It's like that. And then you shift up and down. It's kind of something to kind of play around with. Beautiful. Hands center and carefully, gracefully step down. All right, so this is my pushing you a little bit, my last push. So if this is hard, don't not do it. But we're going to turn your toes out. You want to bring your hands to Mr. Miss Genie, I dream of Genie, and you're going to come to your version of squat. And then coming up, lift up. And then slowly, slowly down. So it can be just here, okay, or here. One more, arms up, and last one. Come all the way down. See if you can put a block or sit or stay high, you know, or hands on the legs or block, and just come to your version of malasana or the squat here. Sometimes you can put like a super big blanket under your heels, and you can do that. That helps also here with a blanket or something under your heels. All right, careful. We're going to try to come out of here. So maybe hands forward, maybe lean your hands back. So if you have the squat here, you can bring your hands behind and sit. So find your way to sit. All right. I want to do a twist here. We'll start cooling down. One twist. Have your block behind you if you want. Here we go. That's better. So why I say the block? Because I think it's great. So let's say I have one leg, the legs long, and I'm gonna bring my right leg up. Okay, so my right leg is bent, my left leg is straight. I'm gonna use my left hand to hug, and my right hand, instead of using it on the floor, I'm gonna use the block, and I'm gonna really twist here. Really twist here. So feel that if you don't want it, that's okay. But just, I feel like the block gives you this more space because it's like a little higher and you can push on it and really open the shoulder out. You're twisting your shoulder, your belly, your navel. Amazing, like feels like such an easy twist. Can be like nothing when you do it like that, you know. And it's okay, I'm twisting. But if you really mindful and you push what you need to push on the floor, and you hug and you twist and you hold your belly and you feel what's hugging, what's coming in, what's on the floor, what's on the block, and where's my face and where's my neck. And then go forward, do a dandasana, which is like a mountain foundation for the seated part of the practice. But just this would be your staff pose or dandasana. You can have a little bend on the legs. And this is also one of the mountain poses. But if you really, you know, like engage the shoulders, the bandhas, and the locks here, it can be almost like you're sweating here if you maintain it the right way. All right. And then other side, again, the other leg comes in. My leg is not close to my hip. If you want to bring it close, that's fine. You want to bring it wide, it's fine. You can bring it also far towards, like in the line just with the knee, you know, the arm across, hugs it, all right, or holds it with the hand. And you can have this here, and you can be here. This could be enough. You try with a block, just a little right behind your tail, like maybe a foot there, and twist, and then you determine, you know, if you're more or less. Keep the legs really engaged towards the opposite side and breathe. Yeah, Again, breathing here, right? Are you breathing? I don't care what it looks like. Never say no to the breath. Breath comes in. Breath is formally part of the practice, formally invited. Come back to center. All right. So we're going to just kind of cross the legs here. Doesn't matter which shin isn't crossing. Just take a moment, right? Nice and tall, and just walk a little forward. It's so simple and so wonderful. If you can hear my breath, I'm really exaggerating my exhaling. Make a sound, make that ujjayi. You don't have to really fall down. I'm almost like using my arms, like pushing them as my hands push the hands. Really feel like my whole hinging here is where I want to stress it. Come back to center, right? And we'll just do the other leg, just switch it gentle, lift, right? Before you go forward, just lengthen, breathe, and then go a little forward. You can also stay on a block here. And again, just breath, right? Breathing out, long exhalations. Feel the stretching, feel the sensation. Relax here. Don't jam your chin forward to look at the screen. Keep just looking, sort of having the neck in line with the rest of your spine. Relax your jaw. You can even see if you can maybe feel more on this side, or how it feels to the compared to the first side. Walk your hands back to center, and then just shake the legs up. So we're going to go back to the block again, the way we started with the block. All right, and then we're going to do some couple of more stretches. Going back on the block, have the block, and slide it under again. Please keep it on the lowest one for this one here. And just take a moment. So we're back here. Awesome, right? You can have, my hands are on my ribs, or you can have your hands out. You can have your hands reaching to the toes or to the heels. My legs can be a little wide. My legs can be comfortably hip distance, and just relax here. Take check. Where is your shoulders? Where's your neck? Is your neck turning to one side? Try to keep the neck in the center line with everything up, and just breathe here. If the block is right, hopefully it is. If you feel like you can lift the leg and both legs can lift and you feel wobbly, you need to return and, reposition it so it feels like you can kind of float your legs up and come to this Viparita Karani thing. Okay. Then here we're going to open the legs wide. You can open the arms wide. If you need a little support, you can have your hands up, or you can have your hands behind. So please be, sensitive and wise, and feel what we're doing. We're going to bring the legs back together. And you're going to bring one leg to the nose and one leg forward. Doesn't have to touch your nose or the floor. Center both legs together. So one leg to the front, one leg to the back. Awesome. Okay, feel that. And together. So when open again, like a straddle, like an upavista on the back. Toes are flexed. Legs come in. And then play with that. The leg one forward. Doesn't have to be a competition of how low it is. Center, and then switch. Awesome. The legs are up again. Separate them, just roll the ankles here. Do some sway, some turning, anything here that feels good, point flex. Really good to maybe shake the legs a little bit high if you like, a little shake it, that's fine. You're gonna bring the feet carefully down, 1 and 2. Then you're gonna play and experiment with this. See if this feels good to maybe straighten one leg out. Maybe also one arm out. Okay, you can bring everything together and switch it, experiment with one leg at a time, one arm at a time. You can don't have to do the arm, you can just do the leg. If it feels terrible, don't do it. Okay, but if it feels good, then all of you maybe just do the legs a little wide and the arms like a little V and have this great counter for our low back and our hips. If this is not good, you can just keep the legs bent. Or again, you can just do one at a time. This is so subtle and everybody's so different here. Bring the hands back, bring the feet back. Take a moment here. And then we're going to press your feet enough to take care of the block and send the block out for a moment. You're going to lift your right left foot and place again the ankle on the top of your leg. Now you're going to shift everything up. Lift everything up and rock a little side to side. Okay, if you like rocking, rock. If you don't like rocking, don't. Okay, you can just do these a couple times. I'm gonna come here into a twist. So again, this is very personal, very different for everybody. So you can have the foot come down, the bottom that is closer on the floor, cross. And then is my right leg, right? I'm gonna cross to my left. If this is too much, you don't cross. You have the feet like together. You can shift your hips a little to the opposite side and let the knees uh, rotate to the left. So if this is okay in the first option, you're crossing and you're using these cross leg twist to unwind here. Arms can be open. Arms can be closer to the body. Again, any variation, knees can be together. Foot blocks in between or under. Breathe here. You can see the breath. Please listen to it. If you can listen to mine or exaggerate your exhalation here, really make it so it counts as part of the relaxation in the pose. Come back to center. I know I was going to do the strap, but I don't think we have time. So come back slowly to center and cross if you were crossed, or just bring your feet to center. Recenter your hips on the ground, and then left knee crosses, lift and shift everything up and rock for the, again, it's a great option for sciatica. Anything you like to do here, you can use your hands closer. You can bring your hands around your back leg or your shin, or if this feels good, you can also, you know, flex all the feet, all the toes, or you can stay in this moderate, you know, first option. That's also great. Okay, and if you were here, cross the foot so the foot is down. I can do it from here too, but I, you know, just go it in steps, cross it, and then turn or let the knees drop to one side, or this doesn't feel any good. If it feels like, oh my God, no, you uncross, you place your feet on the floor, you shift your hips a little bit to the left, and then your knees go towards the right, block, wonderful, block here, block anywhere, for the shoulder, for the arms, for the legs, any placement, any variation, any modification. You can also stay here and maybe put a block here with the cross legs, you know. So I'm going to do just one more stretch and for sciatica again. Okay, so I just remember one. I was thinking because I saw something a couple of days ago, and sometimes I just forget, but I just remembered. So we're going to just take another breath here, finish here, exaggerate the exhale, and just make it so it's nice and relaxing. Even though you're twisting, you're trying to unwind and relax the mind and, you know, make some nice breath and space and soften breath in this area. So imagine here, like, right, you're opening the left side, lift and breathe there. Lift your ribs on the left and the shoulder. I'm going to come out gently. All right, and then come back onto your ground, onto your hips, onto the floor. So this is the stretch. You're going to just kind of see if you can bring the knee out and maybe grab something. So you can grab the hip, all right, and then rock it in and out. That's the stretch. Okay, so again, just bring it out, right? Maybe with the other hand, grab behind, and it's like you bring it closer. You're trying to open this here, this stretching of the nerve here on the kind of like the glute and behind the hip. Okay, you can kind of rock it like they say, hug the baby, rock the baby. You can hug it under. I have more range of motion, but whatever you can do here, and then set it down. Should feel really good on that inner groin and hip. And then the other one, the other side. So you just kind of like open it out, right? And then maybe with maybe with the strap, right? If the strap helps you, or just be here, right? And then rock it in. So you want to bring the knee kind of to the shoulder and then across and in and out. Or maybe you can, hook it under, whatever you can. You just want to kind of, again, like open. If you like rocking, you rock. So if the other one, one day, maybe tomorrow or this week, you can also do this seated. Just, you don't have to do it just to show you. So you can do this here. Okay, seated. When you sit next time, this could be another one, but like their sciatica. All right, we're gonna start cooling down. Please, everybody, wherever you went, just go on your backs and put a blanket behind your head. If you want to put some blocks under your knees. Oh, I have that microphone and I can't put anything. But anyway, your relaxation is also very important, how you set up for it. So if you want, you can have your legs wide. You can have your feet in Baddha Konasana. You can have your legs up the wall. You can have your arms to your belly, your arms out, palms up. And take a moment again to check with the neck that you're not, resting with the head to one side. I don't want you to do that. I want you to really feel that the head can turn a little side to side and eventually find a fine, natural state with the neck and the spine in one straight line. If your chin is high and your forehead is too low, put a blanket. Again, palms relaxed, fingers relaxed, toes splayed out and away. And start really melting, surrendering, and coming to that breath, that natural letting go moment of of undoing everything, no more effort, just letting go. Feeling that you can always add uh, more percentage in your relaxation. So relax and 2% more, 3% more, 4% more. There's always thinking that, oh, I'm relaxed. No, you can always think, uh, think of your fingertips on your right hand and really feel breath there. And then think of your fingertips on your left hand and really feel heaviness and relax that arm and that hand and the fingers on that side. So there's always way to add weight and let go more, let go more, let go more. Sense your shoulders, your hips, your belly, and send them a message of you're fine, you're safe, you're relaxed, you have nothing to do, just be relaxed. The way it's touching on the ground, so feel like it's the mat coming up to you, the earth holding you and receiving you. So feel that yourself letting go of your body, the weight, and then also the mat or your floor coming up to meet you. And sometimes my words are too much, so I want you to be really quiet, have your own sensations, your own thoughts, your own little journey for about 3 minutes. Dear yogis, I'm going to let you stay. Just stay in your shavasana for as long as you like. Thank you for coming today and enjoy your weekend. See you next time.